Hello, how are you doing? I hope you are having a great day. I'm Vera and welcome to my channel. On here, I read out stories that my subscribers and followers have sent me. Stories in need of opinions and advice. And all my stories are anonymous, by the way. So if you send me your story, I won't mention your name. Now, before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It is very important to. And also click the notification button so that whenever I post, you'll be notified immediately. Now, without further delay, get comfortable and relax. I've got you. Let's get right into it. Story number one. I was minding my business a few weeks ago when a friend of mine called me with a business proposition. There was this sugar daddy she was seeing who wanted to have a threesome with her and another girl. She wanted to know if I was interested. Now, at the time she called me, I was struggling financially. I had been fired from my job and I had not been able to find another one. I had used up all my savings and even getting food to eat was becoming a problem. I was very freaky and in the past, I had had a threesome with her and another guy in school. But then we were drunk and it was just for fun. And we both knew the guy. But sleeping with a strange man I didn't know for money was just on another level. I was struggling, but I was not ready to do prostitution. I was about to say no when she said the man was going to pay us 2 million naira each. This immediately piqued my interest. 2 million naira was enough to change my life. Also, if I did it for free with that guy back in school, why shouldn't I do it for money? But I was also a bit scared though. What if this man was going to use us for rituals? The money he was paying us was huge. It was almost too good to be true. She assured me she knew this man and that nothing bad was going to happen to us. She said the man's wife was out of town and that we'll be meeting him in his house. He just wanted some girl on girl action while he watched, and then he would join us and do his thing. She assured me she had slept with this man before and that it doesn't even last long. She said we will also be using protection. The meeting was the next day. She wanted me to make up my mind fast. If I was not interested, she had other girls she knew would be interested. Against my better judgment, I agreed to join her. I really needed the money. The next day, she picked me up from the house around 8 p.m. and we left for the man's house. She explained that it was a fantasy of the man and that if it goes well, he might even increase the money he promised to give us. I just nodded and smiled, preparing my mind for what was coming. After we got there, the man opened the main gate for us. He lived in a huge house on Banana Island. He told us he had asked his maid and gateman to leave so we can be all alone in the house. My friend kissed his cheeks and held his arms, and I followed them into the house. He was an old man, around 65 years old, and he didn't look that bad. Also, he smelled nice. He led us to his bedroom and asked us to go to the bathroom to freshen up. We were about to enter into the bathroom in his room when he asked us to use the bathroom downstairs because he only uses that bathroom with his wife. I guess he didn't want to leave any evidence behind. After we freshened up and came back to the room, this man was naked, sitting in a huge chair facing the bed. And he had rabbit costumes and handcuffs laid out on the bed. He asked us to put them on. Now, my friend didn't say anything about the costumes and handcuffs, so I looked at her. She just smiled at me and nodded. I have already come this far to turn back. I really needed that 2 million naira. And so I took in a deep breath and followed my friend who was already putting a costume on. After putting on the costumes, he asked us to start making out and we did. It was just me and my friend for about 1 hour on the bed as he sat there and watched us. Then he joined us on the bed. After some time, he told us he wanted to handcuff us to each other. What? I was like, as for this one, no. What if this man is planning to do something bad to us? My friend came over to whisper into my ears to behave and that this is what the man liked. She said he had done it to her several times. I only agreed because I trusted her. He anchored both our hands together and went to put the keys inside his wardrobe. Then he joined us on the bed and started to touch us. I didn't really mind what he was doing. I was only scared because I would be unable to defend myself if I have to. About 2 hours later, it was done. And I'm sure this man took medicine because it definitely lasted too long. Thankfully, immediately he finished, he removed the handcuffs. My friend excused herself and went to the bathroom downstairs. I saw the man go to his wardrobe and he started counting the money for us. He came to me and placed the money in my hands, 2 million for my friend and 2 million for me. I thanked him and put the money into my bag. I was almost done dressing up when we heard the main gate open. I heard a woman shouting outside. This man jumped up and looked out of the window. It was his wife. He shouted on me to hurry up and get out of the room. He told me to use the back door, and I didn't even know where it was. My friend was only in her shirt and underwear, so I had to grab my bag and a thing since I was already dressed and I ran out. My heart was beating fast as I ran downstairs to tell my friend his wife was home, only for me to get there and this girl was not there. The window in the bathroom was open, so I think she ran out through the window. She just left me. I could hear footsteps in the house and the woman was screaming. And so I threw my bag and my friend's things out of the window and attempted to also climb through the bathroom window. But I only had one leg out of the window when I felt a cane lash at my back. This woman was literally holding a cane and she was whipping me left and right. Sorry. She was also trying to pull me back into the bathroom. She was pulling my other leg. Her nails were pointed and sharp, and so she was scratching my leg. And all this while, she was whipping me and insulting me. I was screaming, begging her to stop, but she wouldn't. I used all my strength to push myself out of the window. The sides of the window scratched my back and my thighs badly, and when I hit the floor, I almost broke my leg. I was bleeding from the whipping and the scratches. I grabbed my bag from the floor and ran out of there. Luckily, the front door was not locked. My friend was nowhere in sight. She had just left me there all alone. I couldn't imagine what that woman would have done to me if she had pulled me inside the house. But at least I still had the 4 million naira with me. I went to the drugstore for some painkillers and I couldn't even sleep that night because I was in so much pain. The next day, my friend came over, apologizing for leaving me behind. She said she heard the woman shouting, and immediately the woman got out of her car. She knew she had to run out. She said she knew the woman was crazy, and if she had tried to warn me, both of us would have been caught. So she just left me there just like that. And then she added that the man said she had given me the money before I left, so she had come for her part. Without saying a word to her, I went for an envelope containing 1 million naira and I gave it to her. She smiled and took it, but after counting it, her face changed. She said the money was 1 million short. I told her she deserves only 1 million for leaving me there. I showed her the bruises and deep scratches on my body. What if that woman had killed me? If she wanted more, she should just ask the man. But as for me, I can only give her 1 million naira. She started shouting and tried to fight me, but I overpowered her and threw her out of my house. She rained curses on me and called me ungrateful. She said she would take the 1 million naira from me one way or the other, but I'm not scared of her. I just want to know if I'm right for giving her only 1 million naira after she left me there all alone. This story is wild, though. I think you made a huge mistake. You should have told her you left the money behind when his wife attacked you. Then you take all the 4 million for yourself. Ah, you made a big mistake. Oh. You should have told her you left the money behind. But it is too late now. Your friend is a very bad friend. She didn't try at all. What if this woman had really hurt you? What if she had killed you? If you know you can truly face her and anything she throws at you, then don't mind her. She's even lucky you gave her 1 million. She knew the woman was crazy and she didn't warn you at all. And how did the woman come there all of a sudden like that? And she was whipping you. Where did she get the cane from? It was as if she was ready for you. Anyway, if you feel you can face your friend, don't give her any more. She should ask the man to add 1 million to it. You really deserve that 3 million. Because something bad could have happened to you. If you know you can face her, face her. Don't give the money to her. This story was hot and wild. If you have any advice for this sender, just write story 1 and leave your advice and opinions. She will be in the comment section reading your comments. Let's move on to story number 2. I met my baby daddy when I was at the university. I loved him so much, but he was a cheater and had a lot of women chasing him. I thought I was going to lose him because of that. And so I decided to trap him with pregnancy. I can say I was still young and stupid. Unfortunately, he impregnated another lady who was also a side chick the same time with me. And he decided not to be with both of us. He chose a new lady over both his pregnant girlfriends. I became so frustrated and mad that I would insult him every chance I got. I even created fake accounts to insult and bully him, to which I later confessed that I was the one behind the accounts, and he forgave me. But he still thought I was a psycho. He still went on and stayed with the lady he chose. He actually said he felt safe with her. Fast forward, I forced myself to heal and move on. But I would think about him every day. I would cry myself to bed. I pretended as if I was healed. And I got a new man to replace him. This guy really loved me and he even wanted to marry me. He treated my baby like his own. My parents and friends advised me that it is better to marry a man who loves you more than you love him. Fine, I accepted the proposal. We got married, but I wasn't completely happy. I still loved my baby daddy. And my baby daddy's girlfriend, on the other hand, will also body shame me and make me feel less every chance she got. And so I just decided to trust in God and try to forget about my baby daddy. I started trying to love my husband back. 2 months into the marriage, this guy completely changed. He started showing me flames. Remember, I am still learning to love him. He would come back home late every day, not contributing anything. I had to cover all the bills. He doesn't help with the chores. And he was so arrogant. And to add to it, he was not doing well financially. I tried marriage counseling. I went to pastors and our parents to help solve our issues, but he just didn't want to change. I could see no effort from him. I lost interest and started missing my baby daddy. So one day, my baby daddy texted me. He said he wanted to see me and our daughter, but I decided to give him the cold shoulder because I am a married woman and I hoped my man would change. But things got worse. I started missing my baby daddy again, and one day I bumped into him. I saw him, but he didn't see me. But my heart was so happy that I texted him later that day. And he was also happy to hear from me. We met for lunch with our daughter without my husband's knowledge. I have been very happy since then. I can't stop thinking about him. And he also says things are not fine with his girlfriend because immediately after I got married, she started acting up and pressurizing him to marry her. She also gave him an ultimatum, but he thinks he still loves me and would rather be with me. He is saying despite his girlfriend being a good woman, He's just not completely happy with her. He also thinks he contributed to me being a cycle, and he wants to take accountability and work with me. I can say I contributed 30% and he contributed 70% to our breakup. He doesn't mind being with a married woman or a divorcee as long as it is me. Now, please advise me. I am still staying with my husband, but I don't feel happy with him. But I want my baby daddy, but I don't know whether to try to fix things with my husband or move on with the love of my life, who is my baby daddy. Financially, my baby daddy is doing well. We are sexually compatible, but he loves women, even though he said he has changed. With my husband, on the other hand, I have never been fulfilled sexually by him. And he is also financially not stable. He is emotionally unavailable. And he doesn't help with anything at home. My mother doesn't like my baby daddy. Similarly, his mother doesn't like me because I was life threatening to him. What should I do? When you leave, you never go back. Let's start with your baby daddy. He had you at first. You were pregnant and he impregnated another woman. Despite that, he didn't stay with any of you, but instead, he went to look for another woman. He's an asshole. And you said he loved women. He was always cheating. People don't change that easily. He also mentioned that the woman is with is a good woman. And despite that, even though he chose her before, he doesn't want to be with her anymore. Meaning that he doesn't know what he wants. People don't change that easily. I know you love him, but if you don't take care, he's going to end up hurting you again. And with the way you wrote the story, it is as if he's not even in his daughter's life like that. He doesn't know his left from his right. And I don't think it is wise to go back to him. He's your ex for a reason. Remember everything you went through when he hurt you. If you don't take care, it might happen again. To me, I don't think it's a good idea to go back to your ex. He doesn't know what he wants. Imagine what he told you. He said he wants to leave the woman he chose over you because the woman wants him to marry her. It's not correct. Also, I don't know the deal with your husband, but it is clear he's not making you happy. If you can still make things work with him, fine. But the advice I will give you is to put yourself first. Concentrate on yourself and your child. Forget this man. Okay? Concentrate on yourself. Whether you decide to stay in the marriage with your husband or not, put yourself first. Put every effort you have into yourself. Build yourself up. Concentrate on you and your daughter. As for your ex, I don't think it's a good idea to go back to him. He's a cheat who doesn't know what he wants. He's only going to end up hurting you all over again. If he wanted you that much, why did he choose another woman over you? Think about it, okay? Don't go back. Either you work on the marriage with your husband, the one you married, or just be by yourself, work on yourself, and take care of your daughter. Sometimes you just have to put your feelings aside and use your head, okay? Think about all the things you went through when he abandoned you and chose another woman over you. Now he's abandoning that woman for you. He doesn't know what he wants. So use your head, okay? Now, if you have any advice for this sender, just write story 2 and leave your advice and opinions. She will be in the comment section reading your comments. Let's move on to story number 3. My mother has hated me since the day she gave birth to me. She always tells me how she wished she had aborted me every time my dad traveled, but she never succeeded in doing it. She has always maltreated me. She left my dad when I was 6 months old. After a separation from my dad, she started following men up and down and became pregnant with my junior sister. My sister's father rejected her, but despite this, my mom loves her so much. Growing up, she made me do all the chores in the house and in her shop. I was only 11 years old when my mom sent me out of the house naked. She said she hated me and didn't need me in her life. I went to my father's house and told him everything, and he decided to send me to my stepmother's mother because he has nobody I can stay with. I spent 3 years with her. She loved me so much, but my joy was short lived when we had an accident. I was admitted in the hospital for 6 months, and my grandma died. I call her grandma because she loved me with all her heart. Oh, sorry. I came back to my mom after 2 years, and around that time, my dad had also passed away. 3 months after my dad died, my mom married my dad's manager and started to spend my dad's money. Everything was willed to me. Because I was not of age, my mom was my guardian. She started using up all my money. I got so tired of life, but at that time I had no choice but to put my trust in God. I was a very beautiful young girl, fair in complexion, and every man wanted me. But I always remembered what my dad had told me about men. One fateful day, my mom sent me with a so called husband to another state for something about my father's property. My mom asked us to lodge in a single room hotel. She trusted him so much, and this man used that to his advantage and raped me. I was in pain, but I had no choice than to keep it to myself because I knew if I told my mother, she would never believe me. And so, after all this pain and suffering, I decided to marry because even though I wished to further my education, my mother didn't want to. She gave me no money. And so, I got married at the age of 16 years and gave birth to my first son at the age of 17 years. I was so happy with my husband. Things were moving well for me, and my husband even put me back into school. But luck was not on my side. After my second daughter, things started going very bad for my husband and he lost his job. We started managing his savings, but along the way, I got pregnant. But things were just getting worse for me and my husband. I was suspecting my mom was doing something against me because my sister got married too, but she was suffering in her marriage. Her husband was beating her. After all the suffering and everything, I told my husband we should relocate to another state. But when my mom heard this, she was not okay with the relocation at all. She called me and told me my husband wanted to kill me and that he's using black magic on my head. She asked me to get a divorce from him and come and stay with her at home. At this point, I am tired of my mother. She has never wanted the best for me. And all of a sudden, she's thinking about my best interests. I'm sure she just wants to kill me once and for all this time around. I am just tired and I'm thinking of cutting my mother out of my life. Why is it taking you so long to cut that woman out of your life? Like, how can you treat your own daughter this way? I just pray that things start working out for the better for you and your husband. You've gone through so much. I'm so sorry. Getting married at the age of 16 years and getting pregnant at the age of 17 years. But at least you have a good man. You said it makes you happy. I'm so sorry for everything you've gone through. I hope things start working out for the better for you. And hurry up, cut that woman out of your life. Cut her off. Why is she still in your life, babe? You should have cut her off a long time ago. You don't need any advice for this. Stick to your marriage. I just thank God that out of your story, you have a man who loves you. Stick to your marriage and cut her off. That woman just gave birth to you, but she's not your mother. You should have done that a long time ago. It is not too late. Just cut her off and move on with your life. If you have any advice for this sender, just write story number 3 and leave your opinions and advice there. She'll be in the comment section reading your comments. With all the 3 stories I read out today, I think the first one was the wildest. It was very wild. Anyway, we've come to the end of this video. Remember, your opinions and advice matter. It is because of you that they've sent the story to me. So leave your opinions and advice down below. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to send your own story to me, you can send them to my TikTok page at vera.ish. I will leave it on the screen for you. To send your story, just DM me your story. Don't ask, can I send my story to you? Just write out your story and send it to me. When I post your story, I will let you know. I will notify you that your story is up. I hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. If you've not done that already, please like and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for doing that. See you next time. Okay, I'm done. Bye.